came back in the game. You know, the energy turned into something else, and then Peeler and Garnett get into it.
And as the fourth quarter begins, Rodney Buford, with Peeler having been thrown out of the game, is the guy who's going to have to see action in place of Bibby. Sprewell's shot is short. Saved in the corner, and it comes all the way back to Cassell. It was saved by Hoiberg. And Garnett can't get there. Christie does. Leads the break. To Stojakovic. No basket.
Boy, Christie should have taken that out. When you get that close to the basket, the pass is difficult. Number one, you would be in the act of shooting. Number two, now you don't get that. I find it interesting that they're bringing Mike Bibby back in. You know, with a 15-point lead, you may be able to milk it a little bit and keep him on the bench, give him more rest, and keep him out of foul trouble.
Well, he has 2 remaining, but Cassell only has 1 because he just picked up his 5th. So Cassell with 5 fouls as Christie goes underneath. It gets swung out to Buford. Now Peja. And Stojakovic goes all the way and can't get it to drop.
Yes, Garnett being there made him miss that shot.
Meanwhile, Cassell with 5 fouls, 5th game in a row. He's had at least 5 fouls, and Garnett goes all the way in.
See, the Timberwolves are doing a good thing. They know that their offense is stagnant. They're going to go down to Kevin Garnett.
Christie. He couldn't get it to drop, and underneath it's Miller and Garnett. And it's come back the other way.
See, 2 plays in a row. The missed layup by Stojakovic was caused because Kevin Garnett was standing there. That one Garnett contests. On the offensive end, Garnett scored. So he's starting to impose his will in this game.
Hoiberg back to Garnett. Shot clock at 7. Stojakovic. In the glass.
And very well defended by Brad Miller.
And Hoiberg with a foul. In these playoffs, the only team to overcome a double-digit deficit and win a game in the fourth quarter would be Minnesota. They did it against the Kings in Minneapolis in game 2. In fact, they were down, not only down in the fourth quarter when it began, but Stojakovic hits 3, down by 10 with 4 minutes to play.
Yeah, and that's a rare open look for Stojakovic. You should just give him those. Those are layups for him.
Serbiak. It'll count. And he goes to the line.
You know, Rick Adelman, you can look at him. He's looking at Brad Miller and whoever committed that foul. Listen, if you're going to give up a layup, give it up or foul him. You cannot give up a 3-point play right here. Right on the bump. He cannot be allowed to make this shot. Those are extra points that your team is giving up. And Rick Adelman is complaining about that this morning.
3-point play for Serbiak to make it a 13-point game. Under 10 to play. Fourth quarter, game 6. Bibby. 4 times it bounces.
You know, the offense looks pretty good now. Right, Bibby's back on the floor.
Big difference. Timeout. Timberwolves. 9:23 remaining in the fourth as Bibby drives. The fourth time is the charm.
So many game 7s, you know, that you got to feel that they have a little advantage also.
Heartbreaking game 7s.
And with this much time, anything can still happen in this game.
Oh, we've seen it. We're not putting this one in the refrigerator.
No. The second three-point. Look at Rick Alderman. Look at him. He's saying foul. Foul, guys. If a guy has a layup, you cannot allow him to lay it up. This is the playoffs. Foul him.
And Bibby fouled him, and that's 5 fouls as Zerbiak goes to the free throw line. 5 now. 13-point lead. Checking with Michelle again.
Wally Zerbiak is doing what he's doing out, wearing a brace around his lower back with a pad inserted to protect those broken bones you talked about. So you've got Cassell with a bad back, Wally recovering and wearing that brace and a pad to protect him, Al.
And on the other side, Bibby with 5 fouls and Peeler ejected from the game. Three-pointer from the corner by Buford. So Buford, who would not have gotten out of his sweat clothes today, had Peeler not been thrown out of the game, hits a big three.
Wally tip.
And Cassell banks one in.
See, that's, you look at Bibby with that 5th foul. He came in with the team with a 16-point lead. That's why I probably would have waited a little longer to put him in. You can sub him by score. As long as your team is up, you can leave him on the bench.
Stojakovic, the rebound to Cassell.
Look at Cassell.
He's in agony. Zerbiak dishes it out to Latrell Sprewell.
It's going to be timeout time pretty quickly for the Kings. You cannot allow this game to get out of control.
Buford. Miller the tip. Miller.
Great job by Buford. He gets the 1-3. The assumption would be he takes the second one. Instead, he penetrates, which was a great move.
Divac enjoyed it on the bench. 13-point game. Cassell all the way.
See, that was caused because of Bibby's 5th foul. Normally, Bibby would have been standing there when Cassell came off. Bibby was scared to get involved because he's worried about committing that 6th foul.
Cassell has 13 points. Buford trying to get it inside to Miller. Miller gets lucky and winds up with the basket.
I'll tell you what, great pass, though. Buford put that pass. The only guy who could have got their hands on that was Brad Miller. We're down and out in football.
Cassell again.
Wow.
Scores it, boy.
That's the 3rd three-point play in a row. I'm looking at Rick Halleman, and I think he's going to pass out. He wants someone to go down.
Meanwhile, Buford with a three-pointer here. You know how many he had during the season? None.
3 times in this building. It's the same building. If we make 3 stops and score 3 times, this game changes completely. Al?
And meanwhile, Cassell just adds a...
Up the Kings 13 points.
And the Kings was very serious. Trouble as Buford gets underneath the basket and gets free.
Boy, 3 sensational plays by Buford since he's come into the game.
And he has to play well because they've got Bibby with 5, Christie with 5, and Peeler's been thrown out of the game.
See, they're trying to draw Bibby's 6th foul right now.
Garnett. Stojakovic to Bibby now halfway through the 4th quarter. Weber guarded by Sprewell. Zerbiak comes over to double. Bibby circles back. 4 on the clock. Sprewell with the rebound. And then Miller reaches in and commits the foul. 5:43 left in the 4th. It's a 12-point game. Rodney Buford, 4th-year guy out of Creighton, off the bench and right into the fray. And while Bibby's on the bench, that's when Jabari Smith came in to make 2 free throws. Buford plants a 3.
Yeah, pretty good hands. It's funny, in this series so far, it's been more Trenton Hassel and the guys off the bench from Minnesota who have made the difference. This afternoon, it's been the Kings' other guys who have done well for them.
And that is the big shock. in a 7-man rotation with one of the guys having been ejected in Peeler. Sprewell fouled on his way to the basket. Meanwhile, Hassel has no points for Minnesota today.
But you know what? I mean, obviously a bad foul. It gets to the basket, but that's what you have to do. Sprewell has a layup if you don't foul him. Now at least he has to make 2 free throws to get to 2 points.
First time that Latrell has been to the line today. He's 6 of 7 from 3-point touches today. 10 of 22 from the field, and he has 26 now, 27 points as that one drops. Sprewell coming off a 34-point game. He was the dominant figure in the 5th game on Friday.
And I think Garnett's been a little too quiet, in this second half. See, they just saved 2 points out. Again, and I'm harping on this fouling. I mean, they just saved the bucket and a 3-point play by fouling. Good foul.
Kings by 11. Bibby with those 5 fouls. Stojakovic to Buford. Taken out of the air by Garnett. Everybody in the joint wanted goaltending.
It was not goaltending. The ball was below the rim, and it had no shot of going in.
Hoiberg out of the corner rims it out.
It's not only if it's above the rim, it has to have a shot of going in. That was not going in.
Buford.
Party cook.
7 points for Buford. Again, this is a guy who doesn't get out of his sweatpants if Keeler doesn't get thrown out of the game. Serbiak.
Wow. The one thing they're doing that Flipson has asked them to do is attack the basket. They're doing that.
Buford played in only 22 games this season. His high in any one of those would be 6. He averaged 1.9 per game. And Stojakovic can't get it to fall with 4 minutes to play. And Minnesota will inbound. Here's the call.
Yeah, that call to me. I mean, I don't think it has any chance. But Buford is not shy today. He's just going to keep putting it up. And on the other end, 5th foul by Brad Miller, and the 2nd bad foul in a row in the backcourt. I mean, these are fouls. When you have a lead, you can't do 2 things out. You can't turn the ball over to give the team easy shots, and you can't foul with no shot clock moving. And Brad Miller has done that twice now.
You've seen 3 on the cusp of ejection or disqualification as they each have 5 fouls, and Peeler is already gone. It's a 10-point game as Zerbiak tries to cut it to 9.
And I look at the clock, it's 24 seconds on the 24-second clock. So the Timberwolves get to walk down the floor and get 2 points without the clock moving at all.
9-point game, under 4 to play in Game 6. Elimination game for Sacramento. If they win, 7th game on a Wednesday. Weber has it blocked by Garnett, but he also got his arm, and that is 5 on Garnett.
I think everyone in this building has 5 fouls right now.
I'll tell you, this goes to overtime.
It really is.
You're getting a uniform back on.
And then everybody would turn the sets off.
Not Chris Rivers.
No, yeah, that's right.
Weber misses the first.
So, again, the foul, he contested the shot, didn't get it, fouled, so no layup, and now he misses his first free throw.
And his second. It's just amazing in these playoffs, in every series.
And big ones are being missed.
Sprewell collection. Serbiak all the way, too hard, but Garnett is there to jam it home and make it a 7-point differential.
How many layups or dunks have the Timberwolves had? I bet of their last 6 shots, they've all been point-blank layups.
Weber.
Big shot. Again, caused by Bibby, the elbow pick and roll.
3 minutes to play. Hoiberg from outside. Buford high for the rebound.
Buford has come in and done an excellent job.
The unlikeliest of heroes. Weber loses it. Taken away by Garnett, but gotten back by Bibby to Miller, who gets hammered by Cassell, and that's going to be his 6th foul. So he's out of the game.
I didn't think it was a flagrant foul, but in my opinion, it was an excellent foul. He stopped the bucket, even though that was his 6th foul. But at this point in the game, it's too important to give up easy shots.
.232 to go. Sacramento by 9. The Selkans.
Yeah, I mean, really, the Timberwolves are not acting like a team right now that won the West, you know, because little things like the Garnett thing with Peeler and the Sam Cassell thing right here. No, this game is not over. Maybe they're looking at the clock thinking it's over and they have a game to give, but you got to keep your composure in playoff series, and right now they're not doing it.
I think that way. You're right. I mean, you get thrown out of the game, you don't give up another point.
Exactly.
Stojakovic made the technical. Miller's at the line for 2. Miller now has 15 points. He's 5 of 5 and making 6 out of 6 from the line. It's a 12-point game. Miller has not missed a shot today. He's 5 of 5 from the field, 6 of 6 from the free throw line.
But think about it, Al. The foul that Sam committed, he committed it to avoid a 3-point play. By giving up the tap, he gave a 3-point play.
Exactly. 99-87 Sacramento. Coming up to the 2-minute mark. Weber. Into triple digits they go, and they're going to go back to the Twin Cities for a 7th game on Wednesday.
Yeah, now this game is over.
Zerbiak. In the history of the NBA, in Game 7 in the playoffs, the home team has won 83% of the time. That's 5 out of every 6 games. .120 to play. Stojakovic. T-Wolves will go home after the game. Kings, of course, will stay here and travel on Tuesday. And the Lakers will get a couple of extra days off, too, because now the West won't open until the finals won't open until Friday, either in Minnesota or in L.A. if Sacramento wins this series.
You know, Al, Mike Bibby was great in this game. But I think 2 guys who stand out to me is in the first half, Doug Christie. He was aggressive offensively. He was great defensively, and he gave him energy. And in the second half, Brad Miller was an irritant. You know, he started it more in the first half. But to me, Brad Miller did in Game 6 what Mark Madsen did in Game 5. He did all the dirty work, and that to me was the difference in this game. The Kings stood up and played physical, played with energy, and to me, this is a Brad Miller game, and he's the reason they're going to Game 7.
Brad Miller is pitching a perfect game. He is 5 of 5 from the field. He is now 7 of 7 from the free throw line. He has 7 rebounds, and he finally misses one here. There goes the perfect game with 2 out in the 9th inning.
Yes, a single.
And also, how about a few kudos for one Rodney Buford.
Yes.
Off the bench when Peeler got ejected, hit a big 3, hit another big 2. Stojakovic now, and this is just frosting on the cake.
It is, Al, but every time Stojakovic scores, psychologically, it's important.
Stojakovic with 22 points. And now the Kings can just run the clock out. And the crowd can exult. And this series is going to go to a Game 7.
It's going to be a great Game 7.
It should be. So now the angst goes back to Minneapolis. There's angst all over this series.
Yes, it is now, for sure.
Game 7. They'll play it on Wednesday.